What's happening?
How'd you get the? Oh, you did the thing again?
What?
The blue, the green screen?
No. I have this in my computer, so when I go with automatically brings the backdrop.
It looks the same like in the studio. I mean, shit.
When I'm in Germany, you guys haven't saw this? It's the same thing.
Yeah, I know. But you know, on that note, I mean, before we will always schedule Tuesday 11 because we have a studio, but we can do it at midnight on any day, no?
Well, if possible, yes.
Yeah, I think we should do more than once a week.
I like it better in the studio, though.
Yeah,
For the sound.
Professional.
So yeah, hey, so what's new?
Oh man, where's the short guy at? Where's the little guy?
3:30.
3:30.
Shit.
He just sent me like 20 minutes ago, but it looks super good, man. Shit, wait until I don't know if you guys see it.
So how much is he going to be on stage?
300. You know, he was a look at his actually his little glutes racing going.
How much was he at the Arnold?
I think 296, right? But look at the back down biceps. He does it a little bit differently now. He stays upright, and I think he looks wider than when he leans back and all this shit.
Well, he doesn't create a shadow, so it looks a little bit better, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm showing this before Derek comes. You know?
So,
all right. Anyway.
So what else is new? Since we haven't spoken last week.
Been a minute, man. Been a minute.
Yeah.
I went out to TJ for that show out there, the Extreme show. They had a strong classic.
Which one?
At the Extreme show in TJ. They had a pro classic out there.
Tijuana.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
You had a show this past weekend?
Yeah. Yeah, those guys are pretty damn, man, even Delingo, the guy that took second, I was mostly impressed with him, to be honest.
Did you walk across the border or you drive?
I walked back. I drove through and walked back because
oh, really?
Yeah, because Tarek had the Century Pass, so I couldn't go through there. So we had to walk back, but I feel like I got smuggled back, sort of. I forgot my passport.
You come in, or you went over there with no passport?
Yeah.
How did you get in?
Well, I just went. You just go through. They don't have any connection going through unless you look suspicious or something.
Oh, because one guy that competed in I think he asked me. He said, "Do you need a passport for Mexico?" I said, "Yes, you need a passport."
Is he a U.S. citizen?
Yes.
Does he have a real ID?
Yeah, ID would work, like a driving license.
I don't know, but
if you have a real ID, you should be able to go. You should be able to
they stopped that years ago. So right now, if I go to Mexico, I need to provide a passport. I don't know about Tijuana. Tijuana might be like Thailand. You know,
I came back and I only had my real ID. That was it. My driver's license. You said welcome.
Coming back.
Yeah, because going in, you just driving in. Huh?
U.S. have to let you in, even if you don't have a passport, if you're a U.S. citizen.
Right, yeah, I'm U.S.
But to get to Mexico, how do you get in without a passport?
Not if you're flying in.
Well, if you're flying, yeah.
It's only 25 minutes from where I live in.
I didn't know that you can still drive through the border without even having a border security.
Yeah.
Because I think that's what the promoter told him. And when he contacted me, I said, "Hey, listen, all I know is every time I go to Mexico, I need a passport."
You know, I was in Mexico City in airport jail for like 24 hours.
You were?
Airport jail in 2013. I'm coming for my muscle camp. And when I talked to this promoter guy, he goes, "Hey, do I need a visa?" "Oh, no, you don't need a visa," and all that stuff. But a guy thought that I have a American passport. But that time I didn't have an American passport. I have only a
Oh,
Serbian.
shit.
So I showed up, and with my ex, and they goes, okay, what are your visas? I said, what do you mean visa? I don't need it. Oh, yes, you do. It's like when Serbian embassy closed, and it's okay, now I have to go in the fucking detention airport. Like it took me almost 24 hours to get out, man.
Oh, man. What did you eat?
The bean tacos and shit.
Tacos and quesadilla. Hey, I heard Sean Ray is at it again.
Oh yeah.
What do you mean?
I mean, really, you have to be a special kind of dick.
He's got it with MILOS, I guess. He's got it.
Yeah. So I got the belt, like surprise gift from somebody that made me a gift, right? I didn't know. And he put, I guess he looked at all my titles and I didn't win shit. But I won Mr. Universe back in 89, right? So he put Mr. Universe. Instantly, Sean Ray, hey, text, when did you win Mr. Universe? 1989. And then he started putting on,
89.
and all this shit. I said, like, yeah, that's AUWPF Federation. I said, what the fuck is that? And I said, who plays second? I said, Gianluca Daniele. It's actually a good Italian IFBB pro. They look great. And I said, what's your point? And he just keeps going on and on. I said, Sean, why?
Is that your Instagram?
Like, first of all, I was saying this from very beginning. I didn't win IFBB universe. I was here in the States, and you know how I got the pro card as a Serbian champion, right? Just like Dorian was the English champion.
Okay, so you won the Mr. Universe, and he had an issue with you winning the universe?
Yeah, for using
the title. Name.
So
I won the universe too. I'm Mr. Universe too, so he has an issue with that also?
Probably.
I won the.
He would ask you also, what kind of Mr. Universe are you?
I think I won actually the first. I don't know, was it the first one? NABBA, same Arnold Schwarzenegger one.
Is it the same one as IFBB Universe?
No, the IFBB Universe was the World Championship. They call it World Championship or the Mr. Universe. But the NABBA, I think the NABBA has the universe since the NABBA has the universe since before Arnold.
Yeah, of course.
And this is
Mr. Olympia became a show that all the Mr. Universes would go into that one show and decide who is the best. But the point is, I told Sean, can't you just be happy and nice for anybody?
Oh, no, it's
so
not.
you are jumping in here asking me what kind of Mr. Universe. I mean, I talk about this from very beginning. You knew I came here on WPF AU Universe. I competed 87, I was 6th, 88, I was 3rd, 89, I finally won. And then I couldn't represent my country in IFBB show, but I came here and I got the pro card on the basis of Serbian champion. I mean, we went on for like about 1 hour, and if I send you some of the screenshots, I mean, people would love seeing it.
This on the DM or was on the outside of the Instagram?
No, on the text messages, right?
Oh, text message.
Back and forth. So I asked him, hey, you want to go on a live Instagram right now just to show people what kind of dick you are? Hey, I'm just checking, from the horse's mouth. I said, I told you I won WPF. So what do you want to go further? And then what kind of worthless show that is and all that stuff.
What's closest with him? What is he getting out of this?
I don't know. I really don't. So he's gonna probably
just to be a matter of fact, I would think.
But what is he getting out of this? Can't he just sit his ass down sometimes?
Yeah. I mean, put it this way.
Sometimes just sit your ass down.
Oh, there it is.
Say less, huh?
It looks like Derek, but smaller. You didn't hear it.
Still working on his audio.
So I have to repeat this one more time.
I have to repeat this.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Oh, it's coming.
Hey, did you see his hot dog eating contest? video.
You're awake?
He ate like 11 hot dogs.
Who ate 11 hot dogs?
Wait a minute. I
Derek?
just joined. What's up?
Derek ate 11 hot
Hey,
dogs.
what's up? I was saying,
Talking-
this looks like a
Are you
Derek
talking about my
Smaller.
hot dog eating championships?
Yeah.
11 hot dogs?
Yeah,
You
it is.
going too, Kristen?
Bro, 11.
Did you eat, like regular size or like the max? The
Yeah.
full?
Full
No, I
blown.
think they were actually like,
They're doing-
oh, there you are. Now I can hear you. It might have been a little bit smaller than the official size of
Look
the
at
Nathan's
the
hot
hair.
dog.
Damn.
But yeah, my buddy, he Bartley Weaver, he placed 5th at the Nathan's hot dog eating competition.
Oh, Nathan's are the best too.
Yeah, he ate 41 at Nathan's in Coney Island and ate 42 on my YouTube channel.
Damn.
42 with the bun.
And you
Yeah, but
Bun,
Derek ate
water,
11.
water? You using water and
But
everything?
11, and Milos, 11 and 42, that's a big gap.
I know, but okay. So Derek, I have to ask you, why on earth would you do such a thing?
It's really not that much food if you actually look at it. And actually, the hot dogs that I used were like, if you count the calories, actually, because they're not the same as Bartley's. Bartley's was like almost 13,000 calories. Mine, I think, with 11 hot dogs, it was 11 grams of fat. It had 1 gram per hot dog. Each hot dog had like, how much was it? Like maybe 10 grams of protein. And so it was like actually kind of a legitimate cheat meal because with the buns, the carbs was like right around 300. So it was like a perfect cheat meal for me.
That's
Okay.
you counted
Hey,
that.
listen, I hope you do this every week. I mean,
And the thing is, like, if you go back and look at the YouTube video, bro, my videographer, he weighs like 185 pounds and he ate 10.
Huh.
So like,
but I'm
Milos-
just looking for,
Milos is trying to tell you to do this every week. From
yeah,
now.
every week. I mean, that's a good idea, my man.
well,
Yeah.
it wasn't even my
It's only 11
suggestion.
grams of fat, bro.
It wasn't even my suggestion. Hani is actually the one that called me. He was like, bro, I need you to have 11 hot dogs post leg day today. No, I'm playing. Every leg day, 11 hot dogs, bro.
But listen, if you're gonna get out of your zone and eat something to enjoy, I'm sure you wouldn't pick a hot dog. I mean,
Honestly, no, I really wouldn't. But I just thought it was cool because I honestly was thinking, like, when was the last time I had a hot dog? Probably like for real, maybe 10 years ago.
exactly.
And so like,
For a reason.
yeah, so I was like, I kind of want to, what?
Go ahead, Derek.
Yeah, so I was kind of like, man, I kind of want to, I just want to try it, man. Like I wasn't truly trying to push myself and stuff myself. I was just like, I was having fun with it. And I knew it was going to be really entertaining for, people that watch my YouTube channel. And I honestly, like, I wanted to put my friend out there. He's a classic physique pro bodybuilder, and he's a professional eater. And so, he actually has a crazy vacuum when he competes in classic, and then he has to expand his stomach to do the eating competition. So it's pretty wild what he does, kind of going back and forth with the bodybuilding and the eating. But it was more just, it was fun, man, But yeah, I would normally eat like sushi or something. I'd probably have the world record of sushi eating if I did that.
Oh, wait a minute. Milos be right there with you.
Me too.
You know that story when I challenged Nassar Somebody 95 Night of the Champions for sushi eating contest? And then we went right there by the beacon trailer. So he had 100, I had 120. I pride myself with it. I beat him by 20
When you say 120, you mean 120 pieces.
pieces. Yeah, of
That's
course.
insane.
Yeah, you know how the first 50 you don't even feel it.
Yeah, I remember in Germany, the first sushi place that opened up that I knew about was in Frankfurt. And it was like a sushi bar, like a circling bar. You sit there and you just
It comes around and around.
and you just take the plate and you eat whatever's on the plate.
Whatever comes on the
Stack
plate.
the plates up, right? And then they count the plates, and that's how they
How
charge you.
many plates you got?
Oh man, I was there with 70 plates, man.
70 plates?
70 plates. I swear to God, this is how I drove home. I had to lean the seat back all the way. I was driving home like this.
Oh, what year did you start eating sushi?
What year was it? That was when we moved to Germany back from Thailand. That had to be
I remember 1990.
between 2004 and 2006.
I was 1990, dog.
See, I ate sushi, but I didn't eat sushi until maybe 2000 because I never understood. And this is why I'm telling people nowadays, if they haven't had sushi, I said, you got to eat it. You got to try it before you knock it. I always said to people, how the fuck can you, you're nasty, you're wrong.
Right.
I never ate it until I tried it one time, and now I'm a fucking sushi fan.
I eat almost every day, man. Almost every day.
You need, here's what you got to do. You got to go to an all-you-can-eat sushi restaurant and like order one of a bunch of things and figure out which rolls that you like, and then you stick to that.
But bro, you know,
Milos did that, but he ate them all.
I go to this some of the upscale restaurants, and they call it
I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry, we can't do with you, man. We can't do them upscale. We go to
the omakase.
We go to them $29 all you can eat buffet.
No.
Yeah,
I'm only going to one, and that's Sushiman in Las Vegas. That's the only one I like.
I'll tell you this, because people look down on people on all you can eat. The place Milos took me to last week.
oh yeah.
That place was off.
That
Not only was the food great, not only did it have a huge variety of a menu, not only sushi, other stuff too, but also for the price. They have, I mean, if I remember correctly, Milos, correct me if I'm wrong, they had 3 options. It was like $19.99, $29.99, and $36. $36 means you could get anything off the menu, as much as you like, for 90 minutes.
damn. Yeah,
Very little rice too.
And then very little rice. So they don't put a lot of rice and little fish. They put a lot of fish and little rice.
Unreal.
You order.
Top sushi. If you guys,
when you order, it takes fucking 2 minutes and the food's there.
yeah. I wish I knew, Derek, that you were in Vegas. I would take you there. Shit.
Oh, that's what I was going to ask. Is it in Vegas? Vegas has good
Vegas.
sushi.
Vegas.
Yeah, good
Next time
sushi.
you come in, please let me take you there.
All
After
right.
the workout. Let me train you legs first, and then we go.
Bro, did you see my YouTube video I just posted? I went to the torture gym and I hit legs, and somebody there was like, bro, you gotta do the hack press or the hack squat, whatever, the MILOS REGAN pyramid set. So I did it, and I was like, man, this smoked my legs. I loved it.
Yeah, but I wish I
Great.
was there because I would torture a little bit more. You didn't go all the way down though.
Okay, all right.
I've seen on the Instagram, yeah, but it was phenomenal. That piece of equipment is unreal, right?
It's
Zero
great, man.
G.
I'm really surprised that all the equipment there I use, like, no pain in the joints.
Yes.
I was expecting my knees even after travel, because like my hip was kind of like from the seat on the airplane. I was thinking, my knees might feel a little funny. It was great, man. I had a great leg day.
Yeah.
Can I finish telling you about the omakase? The omakase is when the chef they have a story behind the meal they give you, and then whatever they make is what you're supposed to eat. And it's like top-notch, fresh as everything you could ever imagine.
If you're taking me there, I don't know if I'm going to trust that chef. I don't know.
They'll have like 13, 14 servings. Depending on where you go, is different at different places, but it's called omakase. You should try it.
Dang.
Try it sometime.
Diego?
Huh?
What I've seen, forget about sushi. Let's talk about Derek's legs.
Hold on,
Derek's legs.
Chris, is that in San Diego?
It's all, I mean, omakase is just the style of what they giving it to, but it's a lot. I got a lot of places in San Diego, yeah.
Okay.
Very good, very good.
I'll go ahead, Milos.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Derek, your legs blew up big time. Okay. And I know I've been giving you a hard time with the horse riding and all this shit, right? You know, because for whatever reason you were spreading, and none of us like that. I mean, ask Chris. Chris, do you like him riding the horse?
No.
No, of course. So you know, I could, yeah, I could take you for a rodeo here in Vegas, you know, if you really wanted. But listen, your legs are so huge. I mean, I understand it before. Maybe you wanted to, you know, spread it out and show abductors, but now your quad is legitimately huge. So I hope you're gonna pose.
But haven't they always been pretty big though?
I just find that pose feels most comfortable, and I feel like I can really show off like the inner portion of my quads too, right? Not just like the size of my quads, but also like the deep cuts and separation, and even like the cross striations on the inside of my quads. So like that to me just has always felt like the best foot placing and position for me to be in. to really show off the muscularity of the quads.
Okay, you're in the buzzsaw of the old school guys. If we more like if you shape your feet and legs a certain way in a certain position, it's gonna present the whole physique in a whole nother light than just a lot of guys are just. I feel like a lot of guys lately have been doing just that straight stance from all these different shows. That's what I've been seeing a lot.
Okay, Chris, yeah, he's with the older guys, that's true. But at the end of the day, do you think that if he would have put his feet together last year, he would have won the Olympia?
Last year he was off though. He wasn't going to win it.
That wasn't the question.
He was off. I don't know. I didn't say put your feet together. I said a lot of guys are. No, I said a lot of guys have been standing just straight up and down with their legs. I don't know.
But at the end of the day, we can all find something that we personally don't like on some bodybuilders. But listen, this kid,
it works for him.
Kid is number 2 in the world.
Few judges saw him winning.
Soon to be maybe number 1 in the world. What do we?
I think he's the best. In the world.
Squeeze your nuts a little more.
I think he's the best in the world, Dennis.
Okay, so
I think he's the best in the world.
I think so too.
I think he's the best in the world. That's
why you know.
That's not the point. We're just trying to see some shit that the world's never seen ever, and I think he can do it.
And you know what? And you know what that would be?
That's what I want to see.
You know what that would be that the world haven't seen yet? Derek coming in like he did, but with the full fucking chest.
That's what I want to see. That's what I want to see. I want to see that with the legs. Put it this way: when we did that battle in Arizona, all 3 of his heads are striated right now.
Yeah.
Right now. So that's before the diet starts, dog. I mean, we have nothing to do but see some greatness at the Olympia. Come on, Derek. That's all we gotta do. Let's go, baby.
I think so too, Derek. If someone asks you, going to the Olympia, hold on, my bad. That's because I'm not in the studio. So if someone asks you, Derek, because we had to switch everything around.
Hey, that's power, man. That's power.
No,
don't do that for nobody.
I have a very important 3 o'clock appointment. The studio is an hour away from me. If we film from the studio from 1 to fucking 2 or 2:30, I will never make the appointment. So that's why I'm doing this from home. So if someone asks you, going into the Olympia, who's your biggest competition? Who do you think is your biggest competition? Not, okay, of course we're going to say the champ.
Yeah.
Who do you personally believe is your biggest competition?
Okay, there's a few ways you can look at this, right? First and foremost, I promise you I'm not saying this because it's the right thing to say, blah, blah, blah. Listen, this is you versus you. This is art that you're building. You need to keep the blinders on and only focus on yourself and don't worry about what anybody else is doing. So if I can be a better version of myself, that's all I need to focus on.
That's all you need to do.
Give me the other version.
If I name names and I start kind of breaking it down, this is the way I see it. HADI is the champ, and it was close. And if you look at the scorecards, it was myself and HADI, and then there was a pretty big gap between first, second, and then third, fourth, fifth, and on. So second and third. So really, on paper, it's just HADI. Now I know everybody. What's that?
Okay, but that was last year. So people improve. So let's say we saw Samson coming to the Arnold, fucking winning the Arnold. Yeah. Now we see Samson, of course, he's got to be highly motivated. Could he be a threat to you at the Olympia this year?
I mean, of course. Like, listen, man, like the top 5, 6 guys are very, very competitive. So there's no like, well, you know, third, fourth, fifth, you know, good luck, you know, competing down the line. No, it's not like that at all. That top 5, top 6, very, very competitive. But what do I truly see? I can see Samson moving up, but I think it's going to be really exciting because I think what you're going to see is HADI and myself battling it out as top 2. And I think you're going to see a rerun of the Arnold with Nick and Samson battling it out for third and fourth. That's just my opinion. And I think that's a little premature for me to even say, because like I said, I'm an athlete. I need to only focus on myself. So I don't really voice my opinion when it comes to those top placings. At the end of the day, it's not up to me. But I think that I think a great battle would be Nick and Samson, and then me and Hadi.
Do you think Nick or Samson passed Nick by beating him at the Arnold? Or do you think, when you say moving up, there's only a couple places he can move up from last year?
Right. So I think the fact that Samson did win the Arnold, he beat Nick at the Arnold. I think that just goes to show that he obviously can surpass Nick. But I think Nick at the Olympia, bringing the conditioning that he did at the Arnold, I think he can still beat Samson. I don't think it's Samson's going to just leapfrog him one time and it's done. I think there's a definite rivalry and battle right there, truthfully.
When you look at Hadi and you compare yourself to Hadi from last year, what are you going to bring better? And what do you think, where do you beat Hadi?
Yeah, I think bringing in the legs a little bit fuller, like we just talked about, that's going to be a definite bonus. And I think that I've already seen improvements in my chest. If I can keep the fullness there, I think just being a bigger, sharper, harder version of last year is what I need to do. You know, I don't think I need to sit here and nitpick Hadi and say this is where I beat him. I think I just beat myself from last year because it was 1 point after prejudging. So if I just get 5-10% better, I mean, like,
but tell us this. Tell us, how hard is it to have the same coach as the champ, and you're trying to get the information to beat him? How hard is it to work with someone when he's basically preparing both of you guys to beat each other?
Truthfully, has a thought crossed my mind, as it would anybody. But the thing is really quickly, like if you think about it, it's so simple. My success is my coach's success. So no matter who I work with, my success is their success. So at the end of the day, if a coach has two people in the same division at the Olympia and they're top two, if it was me as a coach, I would say flip a coin. I really don't care. Let's go celebrate. So that's my opinion. I think that I don't know. That's just what I think how it is.
I mean, let put it this way. I used to have 5 guys entering the Olympia, and they would train together. And I would say, okay, I want each and every one to beat the other guy. If I would compete with you also, Derek, if I'm coaching and I'm competing with you, I would want you to try to beat me. And if you don't, I would be disrespected. I don't want to compete if you're not trying to beat me, and vice versa, all of us, right? So I think that HANNY is doing a crazy job getting both of you and Chris Bamstad at the highest level winning. I mean, it's amazing. I don't think it's any lost camaraderie or, like jealousy over there. I mean, he did phenomenal job with both of you guys. And as you're saying, you were so close. I mean, there's no argument from the back. Okay, you beat Hadi for sure. Front, you're crazy V-taper, front lat spread, front double biceps, front relax. It's argument from the front. He was harder here, striated and everything else, but didn't have your shape and that V-taper. So arguably, I didn't really judge who would win the front lat spread. And I don't know, Dennis and you, Chris, if you focus on front lat spread and front double biceps, Hadi and Derek, who would you get?
Listen, I'm going to be honest. I jumped on Derek's bandwagon since his first time guest posing in Pittsburgh 2 years ago. I said, me and Chris, matter of fact, me and Chris were standing right next to each other. I said, that's it. That's the new one right there.
Right.
I mean,
you got to be real. You got to be real.
When I was on my way to fucking Pittsburgh, I didn't even know he was going to be on that stage.
Dennis, I was whispering in Tyler's ear when he was still on the stage, because I remember I was talking to Dennis and we looked at it. You're like, oh shit! I went and walked over there and I was talking to them and Weinberger when you're still on the stage, and I was like, you got to get this guy in Olympia. He's got to go open. You got to get him in there. You can ask him. You were still on the stage.
And I think I recall the both of you trying to tell me, that's it, no more 212, go open. And I said, no, listen, like,
listen, Jared, I don't care what you say. I think in that day in Pittsburgh, you already knew you were going to do the open.
I didn't know it. I wanted to. I'll tell you this. I wanted to. I wanted to. I was like, man, I went to HANNY. I was like, hey, what do you think, man? He's like, don't buy into the hype. We still have to That's hey,
Shit.
man.
The
Listen,
proof was in the pudding. It was like you were up there with the best of them already.
People always ask how I got here. I was willing to work just a little harder than everyone else. Every damn day. If I can have hundreds of hours back, you know I'm gonna grab them. Spending hours prepping chicken, rice, and vegetables, F that. I rely on perfect nutrition. I rely on trifecta.
yeah, like I've always wanted to be open. I just didn't know when the right time would be. And then you got to remember too, like a month after the Pittsburgh Pro guest posing, I went deep sea fishing and I got sun poisoning and I got a skin infection. And I lost like 15 pounds, 20 pounds. And
I heard of that.
yeah, I got sun poisoning. So like, I'm not really sure what the science behind sun poisoning is. It's like you get a really bad sunburn and then you end up getting like physically sick from it.
Oh yeah,
Like-
yeah, I know that.
Yeah, and I got that, but then I went to a water park like an idiot, and and I got a skin infection because of the open wounds of the sunburn.
Oh.
And I didn't even know what it was. I had it all over my legs. That's where my sunburn was. And then all of a sudden, like a month later, I started seeing it all up in my chest, my arms, my back, and I'm like, what is this crazy rash? And I went to a dermatologist first because I was like, the skin issue, I'm going to see what they say. They gave me a cream. I put it on there, did nothing for me. And then Hanny's like, bro, you got to get this figured out because I don't care if it's open or 212. You might not be able to do the Olympia at all. So I'm like, all right. So I went and seen an actual doctor, like a whatever. And she was like, she prescribed me antibiotics. And so I took the prescribed amount of antibiotics and it started clearing up. So then we did the Olympia after that. And my starting point was pretty rough, I would say, going into the Olympia, but my spirits were high. I was confident and excited to be better than I was the year before. But truthfully, I knew it wasn't the best starting point last year.
How much, if you would have to put it in percentage, how much better are you this time?
Yeah. Well, I don't know about percentage, but tremendously, man. I'll tell you that. What's that?
I said, we talking percentages again this year.
Yeah.
I'm 100%, 200% better.
Well, I mean, listen, if you play second at the Olympia this close, only thing on your mind is winning the Olympia. I mean, you ain't training for nothing else no more. This is it. So this is it. But how do you feel now compared to last year, 4 months out?
Well, I feel confident knowing the fact that I am in a better starting point. I don't have to worry about a skin infection. I am up a good, I would say 8 pounds, 10 pounds easily. I was, talking to my wife this past week and she was like, look.
By the way, congratulations, man.
Oh yeah. Thank you, man. Thank you. That's the biggest blessing, man. The due date's January 1st. So it's like perfect.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, thank you. But no, I was talking to her. She's like, no, you already look like way better. You already look like you've started half your prep and you haven't even started anything yet. Like I'm eating my meals clean. I got a low amount of cardio and I'm just training like I have been all year, but we haven't ramped anything up yet. We're like 15 weeks out now.
Mm-hmm.
So,
15 weeks on Saturday. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I feel good, but like, I'm ready to go. Like I'm like itching to like, let's go, come on. Like, so, training's good. And I feel very confident knowing that I'm sitting somewhere around 258 in the morning. I was like 258 and a half this morning. Feeling pretty solid. I sent updates. I think I'll probably be 5 to 8 pounds heavier this year, I would say.
What were you, what last year at the Olympia, were you under 230?
Yeah, at my lightest, unfortunately.
Really?
I was hoping to be 235. And I just kind of came together at a little under 230.
Put things in perspective. I mean, 230 and you compare 212 year before. I mean, did you always have to squeak in from 230 to 212? Like
that tells you how much you had to suffer to make weight.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, it was not it wasn't really fun to make the 212. I will be honest. I did not enjoy that. I think when I would get down to about low 220s is when it would really get difficult. And then I would also kind of see my physique kind of go backwards in a way, kind of diminish. And I just didn't like that. I mean, I knew I was super competitive and I wanted to have that 212 title, which I'm super proud of now that I have. But that's why I wanted to go open, is that eventually I wanted to go open so that I could see my fullest potential. Whether I ever won the open or not, I just wanted to present my best at the Olympia, you know.
What did you see on HADI that you can exploit, or some type of body part? You're like, okay, I could try to match that strong point of his and beat him with my aesthetics on my other shots. Is there any body parts like that you see that you can?
Well, it's just what I said earlier, right? Like I need to make the improvements where I just mentioned, but when you start focusing on playing somebody else's game, that's where you mess up. You got to play to your strengths and improve your weaknesses. And when you start saying, okay, well, this guy has this, I need to have that too, then you start getting distracted. So I don't even like to think like that. I remember when I was in the 212 with Kamal, I would see attributes of him that I liked. And I was like, he's got that muscle maturity and blah, blah. I want to have that craziness. And I started playing into his game instead of focusing on myself. Why would I do that? You know, so that's truly the way I see it. I think I was talking on Flex's podcast, just got posted this week too, about that, how like if more people adopted the mindset of just focusing on themselves and stop thinking about their competition so much, then I think they could go much further. And like I said, it's not just because I'm saying it because it's the right thing to say. I'm saying it because it's the way you need to think. The competition holds you accountable for you to be your best and give 100% day in, day out. But outside that, you can't control it. And what did Milo say? A true champion and the best in the world want to see each other at their best, giving their best. So I don't want to see anybody come in at 90%. I want everybody to come in at 100%, including myself, and may the best man win.
Yeah, when was the last time we seen a show where everybody came in at 100%? Never.
Pittsburgh Pro guest posing.
Yeah. Yeah. But that's why, you know, people always say, yeah, I want everybody at 100%, but nobody really knows what 100% looks like on themselves. So but you're right. You got to focus on yourself. You can't focus on.
But I think you learned some lessons in like not doing too much. Like you don't need to be deep sea fishing close enough to be effective.
Oh, I think it's a brilliant idea.
You gotta have a life. You gotta still live.
You have a life, but I'm talking about when it's like something you just don't need to be doing. Like I was doing a comeback.
What's wrong with deep sea fishing? Normally deep sea fishing.
But listen, when I was making my comeback, I remember I was riding with my kid on a BMX track.
Riding a horse.
He was on a BMX track, and it was like I used to race when I was a kid. So I'm out there coming around the track. Oh, let me do one more ride, one more lap. That last lap, man, fucking tore my shit up, tore my tricep, and all. It was just like not even something I shouldn't even been doing.
Yeah, I get that, but you still got to have some kind of balance in your life. You cannot just think bodybuilding. You know what I mean? Sure. He has a wife. He's going to have a baby. He's going to have to be able. He's going to have to be able to balance his life a little bit more, because once the baby's here, things going to change. Trust me.
Yeah.
You know?
Sleep is going to change too. Team no sleep.
Yeah. I'm so excited about that. It's so funny. Another podcaster was saying, I'm sure you all know and seen it, but he said how, oh man, all this stress is going to potentially affect him in the future. And my mother-in-law was so upset about that. She's here right now. She's like, what does he think, that our whole family is not going to be able to take care of the baby? This he like went whole grandma mode on it.
Let me tell you something, Derek. As soon as that baby is born, you're going to be twice as good as you are right now.
Oh, yeah.
Because you have a total motivation. Your motivation level is going to go over the roof. I mean, because now you have a reason for certain things that you're going to do that maybe you don't want to do sometimes. But now you have, trust me, it's going to be the best thing that's going to happen to you.
More purpose.
That's why I believe that Shawn Clarida this year will be at his all-time best.
Well, you saw him at the Pittsburgh Pro guest posing, right?
Yeah.
Dude, he's like up, like at that point, he was up like 10 pounds from his previous off season.
Yeah.
That dude's a freak, man.
Yeah, for sure. That's awesome. But you know, don't listen to what people say, man.
Yeah.
I don't listen to what
tell your mother-in-law. So don't even listen, because I know how that goes, because the family is the one that listen to it. It doesn't bother you because you let it just, but everybody else is getting all riled up for
yeah, she went grandma mode all of a sudden, and I was like,
okay.
She's like, this baby is gonna be taken care of. It's gonna be loved. I'm like, okay.
So I have a couple of fan questions that I want to throw at Derek. Let me see if I find them now. Here, I got the first one. This is I think that's actually a really good one. From Mylan Fernandez. He said, "Hey DJ, my question for Derek is, was there a point at any time during your young bodybuilding career where you had doubts about the future? And what advice do you have for young bodybuilders who may be feeling that way?"
Absolutely, man. Like, when I very first started, I actually had an abundance of confidence, knowing that I was just going to give absolutely everything and I was going to see it through no matter how long it took me, you know, and that propelled me the first few years. But there was a time where I had a setback, and I thought to myself, like, is this for me? I'll be honest. I was like, God, wherever you're leading me, if you like, I want to continue to bodybuild. I want to do this, but I went from second 2 years in a row to fourth place. And I said, okay, God, like, wherever you're leading me, if you're leading me away from the competitive stage, like, whatever it is you have for my life, I accept it. And I think once I adopted that mindset and gave my life to God, and I was like, wherever I honor you, then all of a sudden, like, it was just so much more clear, like, this is what I'm supposed to do, because I was putting so much pressure on myself to perform every day in the gym, so much pressure on myself to compete at the highest level and be a champion. When I remembered why I started, and it was the love for training, bodybuilding, being in the gym, pushing myself. When I remembered why I started and why I love bodybuilding, I thought, yep, this is what I'm supposed to do. And I'm going to do it regardless of if I'm the champion or I'm not, because I love it. I'm passionate about it. And I still have purpose, like we just talked about. So if I didn't have purpose before, I have more purpose now. But for anyone out there, if you have a reason that's greater than yourself, those selfish desires of just winning a show, then I think that's what takes you to that next level. IFBB Pro, Olympian, Mr. Olympia, whatever it is, that's what will take you further.
But we're talking about 2020.
Couldn't have said it any better.
Yeah. But you see, so I was thinking, okay, maybe he's talking about sometime in the beginning of your career, but you're actually talking 2 times second, 18 and 19 Olympia, and then 2020 you were fourth. So
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, so that was the most pivotal moment in my life, was that I just shared with you. Exactly. But if I take it back even further, 2016 was the second year I competed. I was a middleweight. I won the Midwest Battle of Champions, which was the very first amateur indie pro, essentially. And I won it overall. I won junior nationals overall. I'm riding this hype train. I'm the champ, coming to get my pro card at USA's, second place. And that was a long competitive year for me. I think the first show and the last show were about 16 weeks apart. So that was a rough year for me. And taking second after feeling like maybe I should have won, you know, I was like, ugh. And at that point, I left the competition, and I was so upset. I felt like kicked in the stomach, man, for the first time, you know. And I thought, man, am I going to continue on, or is this it for me? And I know that's silly. It's silly to think, but I don't know why I thought that. I was just like, I was so upset, and I thought, are you kidding me? Get your back in the gym and go get that Mr. USA overall title next year. So as long as you love it, I think that's where it comes from. You just keep going.
Yeah, but Derek, I mean, 2016, you were winning the shows, and first USA, you play second, and you were like devastated. Oh my God, the first national show and you play second, and then 2017, you dominated everything. I mean, you
not only did he win his pro card in 2017, he
A
went
week
on
later,
to
he
win
wins
the
the
Tampa
South.
Pro
Yeah, exactly.
and qualified for the Olympia and placed top 5 at the first Olympia.
Yeah, but for me,
Sometimes-
this is a shocker because then you have the crazy winner's mentality. You don't. I mean, second place is like first loser. It's not like
Yeah.
second place.
Yes.
I wish I was second. I was like
Yes.
4, 5, 6, right?
Oh,
You're exactly right. And you know, sometimes what you think is a setback is just a setup. I'm sure you've heard that before, but that's when I realized like the setback, so to speak, in 2016 was a setup for me to come in and have a year like 2017. So that's kind of how I see it now.
That second didn't feel, what did that second feel like at the Olympia?
This year,
Yeah.
truthfully, it felt like a win. It felt like a win for me because it was the first time I ever stepped on the open stage at the Olympia. And I believed that I would be top 5. I wanted to be top 3, and to place second and be a couple points away from winning the title. It absolutely felt like a win. And also because I knew that last year wasn't going to be my all-time best. I said, okay, I know where I can get better. I want to be better. And if I ever win this thing, I want to bring a better package as the champion. So it felt like a win for me. I think people were wanting to see HADI win in prior years, and they were rooting for him. So he did it, and he pushes me to be better. So it's game on now, you know. Game on. I know where I stack up with the guys, and I know where I need to improve. I feel that I have, and like I said, this year is round 2 from last year.
You know what's funny though? Because you said you were less than 230 this year. Let's say this year you probably, let's say, going to be in the mid-high 30s.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Who would think that somebody at a body weight of maybe less than 240 is going to be a force in the Olympia with those freaks right now?
That's
You
shape and proportions, though.
Of course, we all know what the reason is, but if you were to tell somebody, you know, after Rami won the Olympia, that somebody at 235 is going to win the Olympia, what would you say? It's like, yeah, maybe he should bring it down to 212. But that shows you again what shape can do. You create so much of an illusion, it's fucking ridiculous. I have not seen a lot in the last years, I think since Phil Heath, where I was like, fuck. And I'm not saying this because you're on here, this is because, you know, I always tell you what I think.
Yeah, you tell me
you just have what it takes. You know what I'm saying? And it's good to see that you make the improvements. So it's not like you had a stubborn body part. Legs weren't stubborn. It was just when you had to make weight, some body parts will go first.
Yeah.
You know, before anything else goes. Your back, you never have to worry about your back or your glutes. You know what I'm saying? But now you being in the open and you being able to bring that, you know, gain that weight and get that quality, because, you know, you're not even 30 yet.
Yeah, I just turned 30 this year.
So you see this mass, Dennis, that he just got now. That's a step up from his USA look. And then wait till you get to your 35 years old. I spoke to you about this before. When you're 35, that's a whole nother physique than what we see now.
10 more years where he can be at his best every single year.
Yeah.
10 years
Cool,
till he turns 40. And even, who knows, even then, maybe. But for right now, the next 10 years, you can literally, if you stay motivated and focused, you can get better every year.
I mean, that's the goal. God willing, I stay healthy, injury-free, and I'm still knocking on the door of that title. Of course, I'm going to be here, man. I have no thoughts of doing anything but this. This is what I love, man.
Milos, question for you.
Yeah.
Can Derek be a multiple Mr. Olympia? I'm talking 5, 6, 7.
Yeah, for sure. Look, I'm a shape guy, and when I look at Derek, it's God-given, the craziest V-taper ever in the bodybuilding, right? And I was saying right away, front legs, front double biceps, front leg spread is fucking phenomenal. But turning around, it's as Ronnie Coleman would say, lights out, game over, right? I mean, we're doing this challenge round. So of course, look, I'm preparing SAMSON, and we do believe that it can bring the package that can beat you, of course. But absolutely, when I look at you, I think you're a formidable guy. There could be multiple champion, multiple. Like you're 30 years old, like Chris told you. I think really our prime is there, like 32 to 38, somewhere there, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Injury free, and I know that you're very smart. There is that message that oldies were giving the youngsters: just don't risk. I mean, seriously, you know, why risk? Oh, go all out, go heavy, go home. Like, oh, that's completely irrelevant, right? So save yourself. I mean, look what Dexter did, and look at what Phil Clihard is 50 years old and looking phenomenal. Yeah, but
You're not body intact without the injury.
facts. I said this, that your back double biceps might be the best in history. And then I had oh, come on, but Dorian, but Ronnie. Okay, well, yeah, then you take maybe Ronnie and next to you. Yeah, you have a crazier V taper from the back, more V taper than Ronnie had, right? You know, so Ronnie had a better arms. So then when you really look at shoulders and arms, you know, okay, then, you know, maybe you can go there to Ronnie. But I get too excited when I look at the things. Your striated glutes was not even logical. I mean, Jesus Christ, you know, super dry, everything else. Yeah, you're super competitive. From the front, I'm going to tell you, I think I told you this after the Olympia at that banquet. I still don't think that you have abs dialed in the way it should be, with intercostal serratus in detail here.
It's not training it though. I don't think you're training it to that extent.
I don't know. And then
you got it though.
That's fullness and hardness. And hardness. You know, when I talked to HANNY like 2021, and I told him, like, look, when you won 212, and I told him Derek looked a different person from front and back. And then he was saying maturity. I said, well, you're mature from the front and back. What's the difference? I mean, you know, how could you mature from the one side and not the other? So right. I don't know. And I've seen you going into the Olympia. You had a blue tank top. I watch everything and everyone. Trust me. You had a blue tank top, and you did a most muscular shot. And goddamn, you had the feathers through the shoulders and through the chest. Okay, so that's the look. If you bring this, because HADI is known with everything slice and dice from the front, and honestly, he would beat you in those poses. Like most muscular, you know, you can't beat him without having that. And a side chest, side triceps, it still plays a huge picture on it, right? You're good with HADI front lat spread from the double biceps, even though he's super competitive. You have a better shape from back. HADI, as ripped as he is, it is not as ripped from the back. And you know, lower lats, he doesn't have this striated look, and glutes, you know. So you have it there. Ab shot, you need to improve. You definitely need to improve. So I don't know, Chris, why do you think that he's not training abs?
I just think they could be bigger. I think they could be, I mean, he has so much wow factor here, wow factor everywhere. You got to make that midsection the same. If you trained every other day, or even every day or every other day with those abs, with every angle, the serratus, the obliques, the lower part, the upper, that right there is going to be big in the judge's eyes. And I think no judge on this earth would pick you second again if you brought that. Because I know you got the legs, I know you already got the chest. It's just a matter of getting to the Olympia and showing that off. But because that's, to me, one of HADI's strongest points is his serratus, and that side shot like that, where that shows a lot of, that stands him, you know, that puts him, stands him, you know, gets him apart from a lot of competitors. I think if you took that and made that not so effective on him, he's not going to have anything else to battle you with, in my opinion. And I think, but I'm telling you right now, I got him going #1 for the show. Sorry, man, I got to say that. I don't got no. I'm going to start from the start. Behind that, I'll pick people, but I'm going to have this guy the front runner.
Thanks, Chris.
I think.
Mic drop.
I think
And Milo, thank you both. Here's the thing. Here's what I think.
Go ahead.
75% in the world have him as a front runner.
But go ahead. What are you going to say, dude?
No, I was just gonna say I appreciate you guys, because you're giving me compliments, but you're also giving me constructive criticism, and I think that's great. I think it's constructive criticism is good, but I also kind of like what you were saying earlier, like when I first came on, Dennis, you were saying like, hey, you know, I'm one of the top guys in the world. Like, I look at even my competitors and I love it when people talk good about them, because we're the best, top 5, 10 best physiques in the world. So I do appreciate the compliments and the constructive criticism. So, you know, whether MILOS is trying to work up something to take me out or not, I appreciate it.
Derek, no, I'm just joking about this.
It's a competition, so that's what everybody's going for.
Yeah.
You also know, Derek, that with a lot of success comes, you know, some of the haters. So you're going to have to get used to hearing things, because I remember now, can you imagine how much shit Phil Heath had to put up with?
Yeah.
So Derek,
you can win the Olympia 7 years in a row, you still hear shit.
I know, right?
As long as you're not winning, you get second, everybody, Derek. And as soon as he wins, now people go to
I didn't want to watch the downfall down.
Yeah.
on that note, I would never try to sabotage guys and make them lose. I mean, I would be helping Nick Walker, you know, to compete against the SAMSON, and I always want the best. You don't want to beat somebody when they're not at the best. So this is why I was starting with this. Why would you eat those stupid hot dogs? If this, no, seriously, if this cannot contribute, it cannot bring anything good. Why do it? You have to be like if this is not going to help me win, why would I do it? I know it's fun, YouTube and all this shit. Like, oh yeah, it's not good. Why would you do it?
You eat bread every day.
I ate bread all the way to the show because
why you getting on his case for some stupid fucking
hot dog? Did you ever see how they make a hot dog? Hold on a second. If you guys go and see how they make that hot dog, if you would put it in your mouth, I would be fucking shocked.
Hey, listen, every now and then when I go to Costco shopping
Or the movies.
It's a badass hot
I like
dog.
a movie's hot dog with the
No. You ever had a hot dog at Costco?
No.
Yeah,
They have the best.
I did have once.
I eat the hot dogs every now and then. Derek, man, eat them damn.
I never saw you so upset
Hey,
before.
listen, man, I just like it because you're talking about it. That's all I got.
Hey, I watched it. I watched it from beginning to the end. I'm serious. And I tape it on my. I have it here on my phone. To play it. It was fun. I loved it. Hey, Derek, you had a great sport. You know. So on serious note, I would make some joke like, "Oh, he's riding the horse," and they would be offended, right? He was laughing about it. I mean, I commend you for it.
Oh, if I'm winning the Olympia and you tell me something about me riding a donkey or whatever, I'd laugh too.
Okay, so Derek,
I would laugh that shit all the way to the bank.
Yeah, Derek, I'm going to tell you this just so you understand where I'm coming from. I don't like when people force legs like this to look bigger, right? What do you stand for? Beautiful aesthetic physique, shape out of this goddamn world. I mean, this is flows. So for me, and I'm sure for Chris, I don't know, Dennis, how do you look at it? For us, it's distracting when such a beautiful flow is now enforced to, okay, I'm going to stick the legs out to show my abductors.
Dude, you know, like remember like Vince Cumberford, he had this physique, but he would put his body in a way to where it's so beautiful. It just makes the whole thing, you know, Francis Benfato, you know, Ray Buchanan with that shape, just the way he utilizes his body. I think that's what makes the art. So that's what makes me want to go and see that beauty, you know?
Yeah. So I'm not saying that this is what you're supposed to do. You do what you think, but from the aspect of aesthetics, just say beautiful, okay? A flow. You know, you create that X frame, but you don't look comfortable, okay? This is how way back in the 90s, we were actually told feet together. You actually couldn't even spread them apart. That's how the IFBB symmetry round was when we had it.
But Derek, these guys are not judging, so.
What's that?
These guys are not judging, so do you.
Hey, man, it does come down to the judging, right? Like, there's a lot of people that can critique your posing, but at the end of the day, it's like Milos just said, he's like, whatever I feel like is gonna, help me be my best on the stage. And, I'm definitely gonna be playing around my posing. I think year to year, you need to change your posing depending on how your physique flows and changes and
100%.
continuously gets better. So yeah, it's definitely something I'm playing around with now. And as I get closer to the show, we'll see what seems to work the best. And I'm gonna get feedback and we'll present what we present.
No, you need my help or my feedback. I'll give it to you for sure.
You never want to come to Tampa, bro. Don't even get
I
started.
will.
I keep telling you, come to Tampa.
I will come. I will
Yeah,
come.
okay.
Well, he keeps saying that. Chris will.
I will. Okay, Dennis, watch. Okay, you want to challenge me, Dennis?
Derek,
Challenge me, Dennis.
Did feedback from the judges last year?
Yeah, a little bit. Steve went on record and said that, just like how we mentioned earlier, that I need to bring up my chest and my quads. So yeah, I definitely take that into consideration, because at the end of the day, you got a panel of judges who this is their job to critique the best in the world. So I want to make sure that I'm not thinking, okay, well, I need to bring up my back because I think my back is what I need to improve. Oh no, you need to improve what got you the second and not the first. Mm-hmm. So I think it's important that you take the judges' feedback. I had one judge come back backstage right after finals, and he was there to give me constructive criticism on why he chose HADI over me. And I sat there and I listened, and he was done. And I looked at him, I go, so you're the reason that I'm not Mr. Olympia? And he goes, and I'm like, no, I'm just playing. No, I get it, man. That's the thing is, like I said, I've said it so many times, winning and losing is not in my control. Yeah. I think we all know this, but sometimes we feel like we are in the driver's seat a little bit more than we think we are. And that's a big reason why I did want to go to Open in the first place, was to just continuously work on my physique and bring my best. And if I do that, I believe I will put myself in a great position to win. And it won't make it as difficult for the judges to place me first. So that's the only thing we can do as competitors. And I just don't want to get distracted from that at all, Do
you get tips from HANNY regarding how to conduct yourself in certain situations? Because he's been with Phil for 7 years, and he knows what he can go through.
I'll tell you what, I think a lot of it comes from just being around him. I think a lot of mentorship just comes from just being around him, and like not anything like this is how you need to be, this is what you need to say. It's just more like spending time with him, and also if I back in 2019, 2020, and even 2021, where I would conduct myself the way I did at the time, or I might say something a different way. It's like he would let me know, like, hey man, like you're better than that. You can be better than that. And I'm like, well, I don't really mean anything bad by it. He's like, well, that's the thing is, it doesn't matter what you feel you're saying, it's how people are picking it up and perceiving it. And once he's kept
Milos would fail miserably when it comes to that.
Yeah. So I'm like, man, but I'm not a bad guy. I don't mean to hurt anybody's feelings. I don't mean to be, negative or wrong in any way, controversial. I just this is really what's on my heart. This is what I feel is right. And if I say something that's controversial or edgy, that's just me. I don't feel like I'm a bad person. But he's like, but the thing is, people are going to pick it up and feel as if you offended them. And I'm like, oh.
So that means you're going to have to be someone you're basically not.
I don't see it that way. No. That's the one thing I don't I won't do. I always will be honest and be myself. That's the thing. You talk about, or you hear me talk about my faith in Jesus Christ all the time. Do you know how many people would probably stray away from that? No way. I'm out here going, Jesus is my Lord and Savior. So no, I think it's important that you're honest and you're yourself, but you can definitely filter what you say.
But you definitely, there's a way where you can prepare for that title. You got to be prepared.
Coming on this podcast, there is no preparation. What are you talking about?
No, not for the pocket, but
there's no filter here.
Yeah,
I logged in and I'm on already.
Yeah, but you didn't hear you know, your audio was off. I was saying, hey, this looks like Derek, but much smaller.
Oh,
You didn't hear that one.
we didn't get the Olympia title last year, so we're back to 212.
Hey, but I want to say about the judging. Have you guys seen Tyler Mannion discussing after Texas? You know, he discussed top 5 in all the categories and dissected. It was beautiful.
Awesome.
Nothing like this ever happened before. Now, I would love to see this after every show. This would be so educational, so helpful for the athletes.
Well,
I agree. I thought that was great.
I talked to Steve when I was in New York, and he said, "Told me, he said, anytime you want me, come on, I come on." He does not shy away from anything. So I would really love to have Steve right after the Olympia. Next Tuesday, bring him on and talk about the athletes.
Yeah. But I'll tell you something, Derek. Okay, you said rightfully, you only focus in your competition. Yeah, that's all that is for you. But now that we're talking about this, Gustavo Badal died, God bless his soul, you know, condolences to his family. And it was about this challenge round that he won. And I just want to point out something. He didn't have a physique to win the show, but he had a physique to beat all these guys in particular poses, which we prepared. Okay, you're going against Ronnie Coleman. What else can you possibly do? Then abs and thighs, right? You know, for Gunter, there was side chest. For side triceps. We dissected. So, you know, you have to prepare yourself which pose you know you're blowing your competition. Especially like, okay, you had HADI, for example, you're going to go which poses you know you clearly win, and that you emphasize the judges can see that you're dominant and let everybody know. You know, these kind of things. Yeah, so you have to strategize. So that's why you don't focus on competition, but I would always focus. We are focusing on also what can we beat you on. I'm not going to tell you. But
Okay. Right.
yeah, it has to be that way, right? We want you at your best.
Yeah.
But yeah, we know that some poses that it's going to be very hard to beat you. And there's some poses that, you know, maybe we can take it from you.
Will there be enough though?
Yeah. I thought you were going to lead into the posing routine round being scored. I thought that's what you're about to say.
No, I wasn't, because I know
I was like, that's why I was smiling. I'm like, oh, here we go.
Here we go again.
No, I wasn't. I wasn't. I know that this is a losing battle, but I still wish that there's judged.
I see your point on that. Not to get distracted from your question, but I see your point. I think that's what I love about you, Milos, man, is that you love this sport. You're always thinking about innovation and how to take the sport to the next level. So it's cool that your mind's always going on things like that.
Always
I
comes
see your
from a
point
good
with it.
place, whatever he says. Yeah.
Speaking of that, okay, Derek, you're the perfect guy here. Perfect guy now that you said innovation. Why don't we throw in a couple of more poses? Mandatory poses.
Like what?
Seriously. Like, okay. And you would be crazy. Like any twisting back shots, you are so good. And no, this also.
Hold on. Hold on. You've already said one, right? But I'm just gonna guess. If I had to guess, we're probably gonna take Samson's posing routine from the Arnold, and we're gonna pick like 3 or 4 from that one. Is that what you're saying?
No. Here.
Listen.
Okay. This is the pose that Samson doesn't even do.
No, I'm playing, man.
Side double biceps. Arnold Schwarzenegger side double biceps, not front double biceps. So turn to the side, and that's kind of thing.
I would hate to do that shot next to Derek.
Of course, listen. So I'm not preparing this in a Samson favor. I'm putting this pose because of bubbly gut problem, right? Nobody can pull that pose off with a bubbly gut, right? Front, okay, double biceps is one thing, but when you go to the side and then turn like Arnold did, who can pull that off? Okay, so if you wanna, punish the guys, it's very easy. And before there was no reason back when they determined mandatory poses, that was not the issue. But then it became an issue. You want to solve it? It's very easy. Let them hit the side double biceps. Who can pull it off?
Well, at first I'm thinking, no, like the 8 mandatory poses expose strengths and weaknesses from everyone. You can't with those poses alone, you can't really hide your weaknesses with those. But what would be cool and entertaining is something like the classic division, where it may or may not be scored, but doing your favorite whatever pose, favorite classic pose. So mine might be my kind of my side 3/4 turn back shot, right? And then Samson could be like his version of it, and somebody else could do their favorite pose. That might be interesting.
Yeah.
They criticize this challenge round. I think it was fucking I would want to see, Derek, what you're gonna challenge Hadi. Which pose you would challenge Hadi? Or
I think it would be cool to actually, okay, as a bodybuilding fan, I think it would be super cool not to judge what we're talking about here, the additional poses, but it would be really, really cool to have the top 6, let's say top 5 or 6, hitting their favorite non-mandatory pose just for a picture.
Just for a picture. Why
Just for a
don't you
picture.
just let it be judged? You know why? You don't want to turn much, but don't you want to be judged in your twisting back shot that you just said against everybody? You know,
Yeah, I don't know. For me, it's like it's so hard to judge, because if I would pick, as a judge in my head, I would pick one of the guys that have more of a front shot, because I want to see their face. So if somebody's going to hit a shot where you don't see their face, I don't like that as a signature like champion pose as much. Maybe you disagree, but no, I think by that point you kind of already know who it is that the champion's going to be. So I don't think adding another pose to judge would make sense.
Oh yeah, Derek, I agree with you. Let's not even judge the poses if you can't see the face. Don't turn back.
Okay, bad idea.
I agree.
No back pose.
What's so hard to, like in something like that? I don't know how they do the judge the favorite classic pose, because everybody's hitting something different. I don't know how they do.
I don't even think they judge that pose.
You don't think?
I don't think they judge it.
I don't know.
Maybe they do, but I just don't see.
Yeah.
If there's 5, 6 guys,
Okay, let's touch this subject. I think they should judge more poses in classic, and I should definitely more poses in men's physique.
Yes.
You know, if you go there and just do the front and then moving the arms 10 times, like so irritating.
Wind up, dude. The wind up.
Do you know how many of these men's physique guys
I love that wind.
and hit a front and back double bicep every time?
Yeah. But
Like,
they
not like on stage, but like sometimes they'll do it like in their Instagram posts and stuff like that. They look great. It's a great pose, front and back double bi or something like that even.
Yeah, but okay, so we are not evolving. I mean, when you say we want to innovate, we want to, make it more interesting for everybody, for the athletes, for the judges, for the audience. Audience would love to see it. So are we going to stick with the same for the next 20, 30 years? And why? You can evolve, So I'm dead serious about, okay, now I know that Steve is listening to our podcast and stuff like that, and Tyler, for example. Why not, throw in, a few more mandatory poses, or 1 or 2 that can now explore everything. Before, like you were saying, in 8 mandatory poses, you can't hide anything. You can still hide the bubbly gut. You can hide it if you're
mandatories.
in mandatories. Yeah, you can hide it.
Where?
Listen, but are they judging you when you're walking away from the pose and between the poses? Are they judging that, or just saying,
But Milos,
yeah, they should, but I don't think it was.
And Chris also, but if you have a bubble gut and you can hide it, doesn't that mean you're doing your job?
Yeah, you're doing quite a good job, but then
If you have it,
try to hide it in the side.
Okay, hold on. So why would you make this guy suffer until he lets it go with some extra poses? If he's prepared for 8 poses, to suck that shit in and hold it in.
Be prepared for 9.
Why would you want to make it work until he let it go?
Why not?
You can fucking punish him.
Yeah, until he loses.
Just because it has no place in bodybuilding.
Yeah, exactly. Bubbly gut is no place in bodybuilding.
If you can control it, that means you're doing your job.
Yeah, but
Power
control it inside
Milos,
double bicep.
Milos,
Good
I
luck.
can stand you there because you control your stomach. Chris didn't have to control it. The motherfucker had no stomach. But you always stay tight. But if I let you stand there for fucking 40 minutes, you're gonna relax.
Yeah.
But If it were me, I
Oh,
would
you could be
judge
punished.
the guys on the side,
I
standing there on the side.
think 8 mandatory poses is enough to determine who's the better athlete.
What about judging the guys that's standing on the side that just letting everything just hang out and go?
Yeah, you have a point there, and they
But
judge
those guys need to be
They judge it, and
statues.
they judge it, so they shouldn't let it hang out, even when they're standing in the lineup. We already determined that. That's being judged.
That's what I would like.
But you will never get, it's much better than it was. I mean, you don't see a lot of guys with real fucking distended bellies no more. You don't see it. It's much better than it used to be. Can we all agree?
Yeah. I think it's good.
Even a guy like Nick, when Nick came on the scene, his shit was out there.
Got murdered.
Yeah, but he
murdered, brother.
worked on it. He worked on it, so that's why he's controlling it. When that sucker gets on stage, that shit's in.
But he's a hard worker.
If you make him do
that's
20
the thing.
extra poses because you still want to put him to get tired, of course it's going to come out.
And Nick is a hard worker. That's what sets him apart from a lot of people. Not his genetics, just that it's
That brings me to another question for Derek.
worth ethic.
Another fan question. The fan question was Fit Chef Kev is asking, will Derek or Nick Walker win the Olympia first?
Oh,
I'll let you answer it, Derek.
I got Derek first, but I have Nick getting one. That's what I have.
Okay, Derek.
listen, man, I'm not the judge, but I'm always gonna bet on me.
We didn't ask you to judge the show. We just
I said I'm always gonna bet on me, man. That's the thing. I'm not in here to be anything but the champ.
I got Nick getting one though. I do.
all right, Milos.
I'm a president of the Nick Walker Haters Club, so of course, Derek. You know?
So why don't we do this? Why don't we do an early prediction right now? Because we got 3 people here.
Oh shit, that's too early.
What do you mean it's too early? We already know who's in the show. I mean,
No, we don't know if Andrew Jack and Labrada and
listen. Let's talk.
Yeah,
about
let's
this.
see somebody. Let's see more compete. What do you
Let's
think?
talk about this real quick. How the fuck could there be a fucking show where you qualify for the Olympia and there's only 6 guys on stage? What the fuck is going on? Number 1. Number 2, we got what? How many shows left? We got Texas, Tampa, Chicago.
and you already like 5 shows.
Well,
I
I'm
know
counting
the
the European shows. I'm counting the shows in the US. Because some of these top hitters don't travel to Europe. Well, they might have to because they have no choice. Because
Hey,
there's
quick question.
I don't think enough people are gonna make it.
5 top hitters, but only 3 shows in the US left.
Hey, question, Milos. Has Regan's announced his competition, right?
Yeah,
So
Where?
he's like what, coming up on 8 weeks out?
yeah.
Why didn't he just do something in the US?
Pumped
Yeah.
out.
Looking now, of course, you would be like, why?
Vancouver.
Listen, if you know me, I would want him to compete in every show.
What about
With-
Vancouver?
Samson,
What show is he doing?
the Italy, because he's a Yamamoto guy, and that's Yamamoto Cup, so they would want him to.
Oh, he's trying to take the
That makes
easy
sense.
way.
But he,
Okay, hey, listen, it's
No,
not gonna
but
be
he
easy
should-
whatsoever. I mean,
he's
listen.
done, but he's done Vancouver before. I saw him there. He took second or third, I believe.
I
And
don't
Vancouver.
Not this past
If
weekend.
we
There was,
talk about
there was 6 guys on stage. I know only 2.
No,
That's
listen, of course. Derek is different breed because Derek has pretty much won all the shows. Like 2017, he cleaned up the amateurs, won pro, went to Olympia. Then he was second. Okay, he slipped that 1 year, but then again, you're just like major shows and you're winning. I thought you should have done the Arnold Classic. If you ask me, I'm glad you didn't. Of course, for Samson, but this kind of you can pick and choose the shows. But the other pros, they didn't establish themselves. They didn't qualify for Olympia yet. They don't have the name. How can you pass all these shows?
No,
Six guys, and it's going to be 8 guys in Chicago on Saturday.
Oh, that's fucking ridiculous. I don't
Yeah.
remember. Chris, do you ever remember a show with less than 25, 30 competitors?
I mean, at the least it'd be 15. That's when you're invited, like the Arnold Classic.
What show? Yeah, well, that was an invitation.
No, like I say, when you're
Show-
invited, like the Arnold Classic, but normally you'll get a nice little chunk of people in there trying to get those
I
top
say 25 at least.
placings.
Milos, you remember any shows with less than 25 competitors?
No, listen, back then promoters would pay for 10 guys, travel expense, hotel and all this stuff. So they would pick the 10 good guys and invite them. So, everything is covered. I'm sure, Chris, you always had your stuff paid. Dennis, you too, maybe not, maybe on the first year, for 99 out of the champions, but I'm sure that promoters pay for your
my dues. I paid my dues in 99.
Yeah, 99, exactly. But there's probably 400 pros.
But what's happening though? What's happening? We have no competitors in the what's happening?
What's going on?
Is the open class really in danger?
Are they afraid to compete, you think?
It makes
I'm trying to figure out what it is. The open class in danger, which means these guys don't even want to qualify for the Olympia. What are you waiting on?
I don't think so. No, listen, I know.
Why would you put all your eggs in one fucking basket for a chance to qualify?
I know I'm a competitor, so normally most competitors probably wouldn't speak up, but what I'm seeing, man, is like.
Oh, he froze.
Yeah, maybe that was better.
I was hanging on to it like
people that I've been.
Derek, you were stuck. Just repeat that again.
Oh, okay. So you know that Juan guy from Spain. So
Yeah.
I'm collaborating with different IFBB pros, him for example, and what I see is that it's not that he doesn't want to compete or these other guys don't want to compete. I think that there's just a difference between being a top 5 Olympian and being, maybe a year or two away from that. And I think a lot of people are like still working on their physique to grow and show their best so that when they go, they can truly be a competitive IFBB pro open guy. And
that's not the way you're supposed to do it.
Yeah,
that's what I'm
each year, and to be better is to get on stage and see what you need to work.
We would have to wait for guys to be ready to think they're ready to compete at the.
And that's
they will have
literally
shows
what
with 0 competitors.
No, that's literally what I'm preaching. Like if you so even talking to him on the YouTube video when I collab with him, I said you need to be competing every year. You should be picking your shows wisely, but you should be competing every year. And he was like, well, I think I need to take a year off to grow. I'm like, no, you need to compete every year and assess yourself as each show is a milestone. And he was like, oh yeah, I guess that makes sense. I'm like, yeah, I mean, if you want to skip, like I skipped the Arnold so that way I could have, 11 months between shows to improve. Now that's a different story than saying I want 20.
It is different. It is a different story because you could have very well won that show. A lot of people thought, but being second, of course, man, you could put all your eggs into that one basket and actually come away with some eggs.
Well, that was my plan. But my point of this is the mentality of some of these open IFBB pros, I think from what I'm seeing and hearing is that they are working hard. There's a lot of them out there that are hungry and wanting to make it to the Olympia and make an impact, but they don't feel ready. Just like what you said, Dennis, you're like, well, you could be waiting forever. Exactly. That's the point. Everybody, they need to be stepping on stage because you just never know when you're the guy that shows up and wins, because you think, well, I'm not ready, but then nobody else shows up. You show up, you win. You go to the Olympia.
I'm not even talking about those guys. I'm talking about more the guys like the seasoned guys. Why are they not on stage?
Why are they competing all in one show together?
If at all.
Everybody's going to Texas and there's only one qualification.
Yeah.
So you're going to put yourself in a position where you're going to be like, oh, I'm fucked.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it's great for the promoter.
What's going on? There's shows. We got Chicago. We got Tampa. We got Texas. There's 3 great shows for anybody who's doing Tampa should be doing all of them shows.
If Hunter and Andrew Jacked, assuming it's close competition at these shows, if they did like 2 or 3 shows back to back together, do you know how much hype that would have for not just themselves, but open bodybuilding?
Will keep the sport alive because Milos, are we in trouble?
Are we in trouble?
Yeah.
Sport.
Ooh, you and me? What?
Sport.
Sport.
Oh, no, I'm not talking about the sport. I'm talking about this open class.
Okay, so let me get to Derek because he just collaborated with a Spanish kid that is super talented, You know, he was waiting for this pro debut. He went there, competed just, weeks ago. And there is 3 more shows back to back to back, and he's not entering. What the hell? So he prepared for a whole year for that one show, tested his weather. He was not 100%, and I don't know what he plays, 5th, 6th, or something like that. He didn't, win the show. But next week is the next chance, and you are already ready. You are contest ready. Fat is gone. You make the experiences. You didn't peak properly. Each and every show is opportunity. Okay, you can tweak things around. Listen, none of us can nail it 100% of the time. And even if you repeat exactly the same thing, it might not happen. You have to adjust some things. And the only way you can learn your physique is like this, by competing and challenging and, seeing where you stand. This guy, how does he now know where he belongs?
Right.
If he did 3, 4 more shows, and you're ready. The only thing you need to do is, okay, don't put fat on right now. You were contest ready 3 weeks ago, and he's coming to collaborate. So when I saw him collaborate with you, I felt great. I trained the kid. I killed him on legs.
Oh, you did?
Oh yeah, he puked like all over the place.
Nice.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? I mean, Dennis, when you were competing, we were doing all these shows. I mean, Hida came, competed in all the shows. Silvio in all the shows. Dennis Wolf in all the shows. Samson. I did like 9 shows with Samson already. For a year and a half. I understand for you, Derek. I commend you for being close second and passing on $300,000 payday possibility just like weeks away, which
out of diapers.
In a way.
Yeah.
Well, this is beautiful. I mean, look, you believe that you need this, so now you can dominate at Olympia, and my hat's off to you. Yeah. But these guys and all the guys that we are talking, I mean, when Dennis asked the question, are we in danger? Possibly. Why do we have a 400 pros? Why do we give the pro card? Before, when somebody earned a pro card, they can't wait to step on a stage.
Ran with it. We're going to go right away and see how good you could be against the next level.
Here, Derek,
and the best in
week
the world.
later, Derek won USA, and a week later, won the Olympic qualification. Okay, perfect example. Oh, I need to take some time off, and
yeah. Now I'm a pro. I need to put on some.
No way, man.
Yeah.
He not only
gonna get my-
qualified for the Olympia the following week.
I got to get my personal training business going.
I would not give that many pro cards. Number one, that's the danger. Why the hell would you give all these?
This is the funny thing. This is the funny thing. We have 10 times more pro cards and 10 times less competitors on stage.
No.
Does that make any sense?
Another thing too,
The irony.
There's 50 times more pros.
Yeah.
Not 10.
and another thing too, it's like social media. Hey man, if you want to boost your social media, dude, do a show. Show your progress 8 weeks out, 5 weeks out.
They'd rather be the champion on their social media and be number one.
But what I'm saying is these competitions give you something and your followers to look forward to follow your journey, man. If you want to make it big on social media, compete in a show.
Yeah.
True
I
statement.
totally agree. I couldn't agree more. Final question for Derek before we got end this beautiful podcast. I apologize, but I got to go. Derek, final question to you. Should you win the Olympia, will we see you on the Arnold 24th?
There is a possibility. I'm not gonna. No. Listen. I'm not gonna say yes because I need to focus just on the Olympia. But I will absolutely not say no to that just yet. So
because you know why I'm asking the question?
Why is that?
2 Arnolds back to back.
Well, I've thought about that. I heard it was like what, 2 weeks apart.
Yes, there's another one in the
So
UK.
it's one of those things where I really need. It's not just to give you the perfect answer. It's the truth. I have to do the Olympia, see how this goes, see how my body looks, see where my health is at the time, and then assess going into the beginning of the year, after Christmas sometime, is this the most appropriate decision to compete or to not compete? And
Different question.
I'll tell you this, man, it would be amazing to have regardless of the money, it would be amazing to have an Arnold Classic title. Don't get me wrong.
A different question. Should you not win the Olympia, will you do the Arnold?
Yes.
Same answer, man. Same answer, truthfully,
Try.
man.
I gave it a try, man. Come on, let me get it.
No, like that's the thing is like I don't want to give a yes or no because if I say no, that means no. If I say yes, that means yes.
I asked you this question because it was a fan question. That's why.
No, the thing is, it's an appropriate question. And as a fan, I would want to know too. As a matter of fact, it would be great if I knew in my head and on my schedule that I was doing it or
on
not.
the Olympia now. You're right. Focus on the Olympia, and that's something we'll talk about afterwards.
But I think it's important that people know that it's not off the table. So it's definitely not something where it's like, well, if I win the Olympia, now I don't need to do the Arnold. No, look, I regret not getting the Mr. Indiana title. Okay. So I can't go back and get the Mr. Indiana title. So the Arnold Classic title is something that I would love to have. And of course, the prize money would be amazing for my family.
Listen, Derek, we appreciate you. Thank you so much. Go get the title. You know, you got things to do. Chris, Milos.
See you in town.
Nothing to you guys. You know I love you all. So everybody,
Tell Milos to stop talking smack.
Hey, I don't like this man. You
Thanks
love
for
it.
coming on. Thanks for coming on, Derek.
little
Thanks for coming on, brother.
All right, thank you guys. Appreciate
Love
it.
you, Derek. Don't worry. Okay.